everyone. Hopefully, everyone can hear me. Um, I am from Google. You may have heard of us. We are a search engine, uh, is what I would say if this was 1998. But my name is Berk. I work at Google with gaming companies all around EMEA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa. And we focus on monetization strategies on AdMob with gaming companies and partners all around. So today I want to talk about the monetization strategies in general and what we do with our partners around all of EMEA, all around the world basically. So the model that we always pursue is hybrid monetization. As you know, we always talk to our partners and advise the best way to move forward is always hybrid monetization, in-app ads and IAP together. But today we're going to focus on the ad side more. So we always talk about rewarded ads. Rewarded ads are kind of like ads, but they're also like in-app purchases. So we consider in-app ads as in-app purchases because you give the user the opportunity to pay with their time rather than their money, basically. So let's get into the data of what people actually buy. So this is the data that we have as Google on what people buy in general within your games. So we have the in-game currency, that's number one. People generally tend to buy in-game currencies. And then comes special rare collectibles, unlocking new characters, and customizing appearances of items and character abilities, etc. And this is why, actually. So that's the two important questions, what and why. So what and why is the most important two questions. Why do people do purchases actually within your games? It's generally to progress more quickly, to reach a personal goal, and to access higher quality of experiences, content, etc. So this is actually why people do purchases within the games. But as actually Kate said in the last, Kate and Massimo said in the last talk, you can see that the percentage of users that actually pay, this is the segmentation of audiences that you have. You can see that around 95% of the users don't pay. So this is the data that we have as Google from all around the world. The best that you can get on average is 5%. I've heard of 10%, but I've never heard of more than 10%. So at best, you're monetizing only 10% of your users and not monetizing 95%, 90 to 95%. And this is the inventory. This is the revenue that you actually earn from that 5% of users. It all comes from people that have paid within your app or maybe within your inventory of apps. You can think of this as a predictive purchase rate rather than exact data. And this is the in-app ad revenue that you would actually be approaching or reaching. So we try to focus on monetizing users actually that cannot pay or has not paid in any app before, or maybe has paid in some apps. But we try to keep the experience for the users that actually do payments to a low. But this doesn't mean don't monetize them at all. As you can see, we still have some revenue from the users that actually pay also. So this is the ideal scenario that we're actually trying to reach. So getting ad revenue actually from users that cannot pay or has not paid before, let's just say it's like they don't have the behavior of actually paying within games, and keeping your in-app purchase revenue as it is and untouched. So this is the type of different ad monetization formats that we have as Google. You may be familiar with the ones on the left, those are more the traditional ad formats that we have. And the ones on the right are fairly new ad formats as adaptive banner, rewarded interstitial, and app open. The percentage usage actually has started to increase significantly for app open and rewarded interstitials. What they basically do, I won't get into the ones on the left because you probably know them, but the ones on the right is actually, rewarded interstitial is like an interstitial. It starts as an interstitial, but if the user actually chooses to stay till the end of the ad, you can give them a reward. And app open is, let's just say your daily session is like 3 to 4 times. You can choose to monetize your loading screen if the user has used your app, maybe is using the app the 3rd time of the day or 4th time. We wouldn't advise doing it the 1st time because it's not a good experience to see an ad, like an ad as soon as you open the app for the 1st time of the day. But if it's the 3rd time, 4th time, you can monetize your app open screen. And after that, once your app is downloaded, your app still downloads in the background. And once you do, you can skip the ad and then go to the main page that they were normally supposed to go to. So this is actually coming soon. We are currently working on immersive in-game ads. This is in beta right now, so you can think of this as a product announcement here. We're currently working on immersive in-game ads with some of our partners. And immersive in-game ads is in the game. You can put ads and banners in places within the game. This is a seamless interaction. It's not affecting your user experience. And we will be rolling this out soon. As I said, right now it's in beta and it's in testing. So you can think of this as an upcoming ad format that will be available to you. So this is the revenue split format breakdown per revenue of ads. Rewarded has the majority with 43%, and then we have interstitials at 34%. Banner still has a significant amount of 20%, and app open and rewarded interstitial are newly being adopted by gaming companies all around the world. This is the global breakdown for games. This is the IAP and IA breakdown per genre. You can find your genre here. You can see that some of them are ads dominated, some of them are IAP dominated, but you can see that it varies a lot depending on the genre that you have. So block puzzle, for example, or solitaire is highly ad revenue based, whereas forex strategies or slots or other casinos are mostly IAP based revenue. This is just a sample of a breakdown. I wanted to show this because this is the Firebase data of one of our partners that do earn quite significant revenue. So as you can see, the total revenue is around 1 million here in this situation. But as you can see, there's the ad viewers and the subscribers and purchases, but you can see that there's 40% that still go unmonetized. This is totally okay if you want to. This totally depends on your strategy. So just because you have ads doesn't mean everyone's going to watch it if you just have rewarded ads, and not everyone's going to do a purchase. But in the sample below, you can see that 40% of the users still go unmonetized, even though you do have ads and purchases within the game. So this could also still happen. So this is what we think about as the best way to start. It's rewarded ads. It's a non-intrusive solution. And we're going to get into some reasons on why we actually think of it is a good way to start if you don't have ads within your games. So it offers great in-app experience. The user would actually choose to see it, and it's not a surprise when they see it. Like, they click the button, they choose to watch the ad. It has a really prominent location of exit and rewarded timer, and it bears the highest revenue per impression. So you will be earning the highest impression from rewarded ads, and it has a clear prominent location of exit and reward timer. So When you have rewarded ads, keep in mind that it's the best way for user experience. So if your question marks are about user experience, if you're afraid that ads will have a negative effect on your user experience, rewarded ads is a good way to start. So where to integrate reward ads? We put this into 4 different categories. So core gameplay, revives, reward multipliers, assistive features. We have game economy. You can give them free currency, free consumables, speed timing, profit boosters, countdown boosters, and then we have loyalty and retention, which is daily gifts, spinning wheels, and special content. When it comes to game economy, you need to be really careful. You need to put ads in a way that it doesn't hurt your IAP, but it's actually worth watching also. So keep that in mind. Don't make the reward too little. Don't make the reward too big. Keep it in an ideal scenario where people would actually want to watch them, while also maintaining the possibility of an IAP also. So we consider these valuable, discoverable, and repeatable. So these are good ways to look at these 3 categories. And always keep in mind to segment your users depending on the IP behavior. Through Firebase, through remote config, you can segment your users depending on the IP. If they have done a purchase, you don't have to show them rewarded ads. If they haven't made a purchase, you can always go through Firebase and then segment your users and show them the necessary ad that will actually bring your revenue. So that's all from me. I want to keep it short, but if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Hello. First of all, thank you for your presentation. And how can I find this presentation online? It's very helpful, and I want to see it later without.
If you reach out to me on LinkedIn, I'll go back to where my name is. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me, and then I can send this info to you, and then and then I can share that with you. Yes.
Thank you. It was very cool, and I'm happy that I catch this. I want to ask you. Usually, we all know that we have like normal structure of ad formats that we add to our apps is banners, interstitials, and rewarded ads. But Google have a bunch of different ads. What is the most? And I understand that people can't include all of them. So, what is the most like? Common systems to combine these apps despite the traditional. For example, if I add app open or interstitial rewarded, should I have banners with the same time? Should I have rewarded ads at the same time? So what are the most common structures how people combine the set formats?
That's a great question. So going back to the ad formats that we have, so the combination of these formats actually is a really good question. What I would advise is to first of all keep in mind the structure of the app that you have. So if, for example, if you have a navigation app, it's not gaming, but if you have a navigation app and you put an interstitial, that would probably cause someone to miss a turn, God forbid, crash. So keep in mind that when you are putting your ads in different places, keep the structure in mind that you have. So, but going back to the question, if you have rewarded ads, should I add rewarded interstitial? Is actually a good question. So here you can go back and check like the usage points of your ad formats. For example, if rewarded isn't feeding you as necessary as you would want it to be, you may consider adding rewarded interstitial as it starts by itself. It's not obligatory. The user can choose to close it after 5 seconds, but you would be the one prompting it for the user. So you can segment your users depending on purchase rates. For example, the purchases generally happen between the first week. After the first week, we see the data that 95% of the users don't do a purchase if they haven't done it within the first 7 days. So you can address the aggressiveness of your ads depending on how long a user has been playing your games and how long they have not done a purchase at all. So let's just say your user has been playing the game for like 90 days now, for example, you can start showing them more aggressive ads. You can add rewarded interstitial, you can add rewarded and you can add interstitial depending on where you put them. Just keep in mind that you would need to still maintain retention, but your game is the best known by you. Like, you know your game the best, you probably play your games. And if you see an ad, if you're disturbed by it, if you're really disturbed on where it is, the user will probably be more disturbed than you are. So you should reconsider that. At Google, we never say put ads everywhere, like bombard them with ads, and if they don't buy it, it's their issue. We don't say that. We always focus on the UX first, keeping the user happy, because as long as the user happy, then you will keep the retention, and that will be revenue for you in the long run. It's better to earn $1,000 in a year than earn $100 maybe this week. So keep that in mind. When you're adding different ad formats, keep in mind that the ad shouldn't disrupt the gameplay. That's all. As long as it doesn't disrupt the gameplay and it's where users would expect them to see, you can add ads anywhere. But you can also use the option, as Ash said in the last talk. Some countries are more prone to watching ads, and you can test within those countries first. I'm from Turkey. Turkey is one of them. In Turkey, you can see ads more frequently than the United States, for example. Yeah. So you can use these countries as testing points at this point, and if you don't see really bad retention rates, then you can use it for other countries, basically. So yeah. Yeah, I think we have like 3 more minutes if you have any other questions. If not, we can wrap it up here. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.